This DJ's so funky, man.
Activate.
This is the RDDC podcast. Welcome to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host Lex, coming to you straight from the heart, where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. I hope you're feeling wonderfully prosperous, blessed, and amazing, because that's what you all are. Because here, serving a slice of everyday life is what RDDC has been all about, is all about, and will continue to be all about. For any questions, show requests, or feedback, as always, for anyone new or who has been already, you can reach us for food for thought segments and so much more at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. That's realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com for any customer inquiries. Again, any direct lines, any comments on whatever you want and wherever you want to leave them for RDC family, which you are, you can reach us at Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com. That's Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com. We love it. We enjoy it. Okay, let me reiterate on this again. I know a lot of you are signing up for it, and I'm happy. And one of you will be having an amazing summer because of it. Hopefully we can get the word out there a little bit more for more things to give away, because, you know, giving from the spirit is free. So that is going to be our travel, vacation giveaways. We have gift card giveaways. We have giveaway galore. You can think of a place you say you want a gift card from. Let's just put it that way. You can get one just for registering for anything that has to do with our newsletters and so forth, just to get yourself to the levels of where you know you can be and shine more of if you're already realizing you're there. So you can have all that thing set up. And as always, you can reach us at iTunes as well. We also on TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, soon to be Pandora. And there are so many more avenues opening up. We have an apparel store on Skeeter right now with just some things you can tote around. And we will be having some people even modeling off just, some of our branding clothes as well, just to be there. If you feel like you want to be one of those people and jump aboard, you're always welcome to. But as always, let's get this beautiful segment on the road. So we are going to have a hashtag, your story, right? It's our story if you remove the Y, but let's go for your story, okay? Pertaining to me, every one of us, so we are one. We are one, right? Your story. What is your story? What is your bio? When you put down something in a bio, or you think of something to put down as a bio, the last thing you want to think about is maybe your high school days, or maybe your elementary days, or maybe your college days, or the college days you're living, your work days now. You can go to college at, 84 years old and more. So any day, where does your story line up? And it's not the ending of your story, because you're here right now. You are in this moment listening to this, or you were somewhere yesterday doing something else. You're in the story that has unfolded your life to where you are in your journey right now. Isn't that such a beautiful thing? So the last thing we need more of is
that's what he said. That's what she said.
Yeah, we need to just, go ahead and put a pause mode on that, because it feels like a school. The last thing you want to do is hear a bell going off. So halt yourself when you have those things going on and blow the whistle on it. Stop. That's all you have to do. Just stop and make it happen and work for you. Because the only way for you to continue on with a better story, or a more uplifting story, or a prosperous one from the levels of where you got now, is to keep excelling and keep moving forward. So let's dive into this. Now, I want to have the meat and potatoes of this. Me and a guest that will be coming on later. Hopefully, we've been getting him a little unnerved to come on here. Anthony does his thing in the background. I do my thing, and it can be a little nervous and intimidating hearing people hear you out. It's an online world. It's outside world too, but a lot of people want to say things without showing their face. A lot of people want to do things or say things without stepping out on faith themselves. So you have a lot of closet haterades, But hey, you got to be doing something right for someone to be hating on you. It just means that whatever you're doing is working. Simple as that. It's working somewhere. It might not. Okay, I had to laugh. It might not be the most positive way or the negative way, but it's working in some way. Let's get it together, RDDC family, and so let's put that out there. So your story is exactly what we want to go to. I'm trying to stay on this line because we can move in a million directions because we do serve a slice of everyday life. Your journey. I remember Ray had told me the other night when we were just going through a intro session, he said, I hope I can bring RDDC family some of what I have that they give to me too, or the questions that come, because we haven't answered enough questions on the show. Honestly, I'm sorry, and there's been a lot of things going on to where a lot of people get questions answered from not even being broadcasted on the show. A lot of them want things private, and we do have a bunch of questions that are coming out here and coming to the segment. So as I have guest speakers to collaborate on more of a more open conversation so everyone can hear, is going to be out there. But all the love and support is definitely appreciated, and you are beyond amazing. That's just not a word that I say. That's what I feel. Because any one of us could be doing anything at this moment, but we're right here, right now. So thank you. And I appreciate you. And I love you for who you are. And I hope that you love more of you for who you are. Because you are amazing. Okay? Your story. So my friend, or our guest speaker, the RDDC family in, I call it family in because we all family in. He said, I don't know if I have enough. I haven't experienced a whole lot in life to give. Maybe I won't be able to answer some of the questions or have much to say. He's a very reserved, quiet, young man. But at the same time, he has a lot to give. And I told him, anyone who has even entered into this world, let alone the birthing stages, let alone being in the womb of your mother or being that seed coming from your father into the beautiful fallopian tubes and ovaries, whatever. You've already went through a journey, a heck of a journey, a Hades of a journey just to get here. And if you've made it to the point where you can comprehend what I'm saying or even push play, no matter what debilitation you think you have or limitation you place upon yourself, you have an amazing and incredible story of your own. You have a story. It doesn't matter if you're a multi-trillionaire born into the richest family in the world. You have a story. It does not matter if you're a middle grade and you can only afford certain toys at the store and you have stovetop on the stove every night. It doesn't matter if you're in a cardboard box and you had to eat a loaf of bread with some butter and sugar, which is delicious, by the way. It does not matter what it is, or where you have been in life. You all have a story. Even the antelope that grazes through the grass and has made it to the point of where they are now being hunted by the predator has their own story. There is no story that is too light or unimportant to be heard. So that's where I go for. Same thing. Who is anybody to tell you or I how important or relevant our story is? How boring our story might be? Yeah, we might want these upraises and things. We got these fast little videos, and now videos are getting shorter and shorter and segments are getting shorter because people's attention spans can't go beyond that. But honestly, if you're listening to something to self-development and learn yourself, expand your mind, you have to have concentration and meditation. I wouldn't want my attention span to be 30 seconds or 3 minutes to where I just can't keep focused on anything. I just imagine how much beauty of life you pass by for a virtual world. I mean, virtuality is beautiful. The virtual world is awesome. Manipulate and make things the way they are, but it's actually a replica of what the creator and infinite source has created already. It's just something for us to take hold of more so and have counted and calculated measurements on what is changing in the world. We don't like, as people, having things out of our control. That's why a lot of us become hermit crabs. Okay. I'm guilty of this. I have had this before about several years ago. I didn't want to go past the front door. And I was always been outspoken and out there and outlandishly awesome. But I always had that, I had gained some weight kind of thing. That feeling, it could have been 2 pounds. And I still was like, oh, I don't want to go anywhere. I just got very complacent. And I was like, I looked at myself one day and I said, wow, if I don't step out of this door, if I don't start doing some exercise and enjoying life, I'm going to sit here for the next 15, 20 years regretting why I sat here. So let me do something now and change my story and upgrade my story and enhance my story, so at least I have more of a story to tell on the journey and my path. So your story is not counterintuitive. It's just amazingly what it is. If you can break down anything that goes on, just imagine the books we have. If we could have a book of each person's life, which is obviously being calculated and written down and measured some way. All the lives, all the stories. I see people sitting in a restaurant and they're getting their food and they're looking at something. Yeah, again, I'm hashtag food episode, but Anthony's of course, making fun, but I noticed that even in a library, you wonder, you look at them, you might see their clothes or what car they got into, but you have no idea if that woman who just got out of the car got smacked around by her husband, or she just found out horrible news, or from the doctor, or from her family member, or going through it with her child. You have no idea what that man went through when he clocked into work and went behind his desk, or the last conversation he had, or what was exposed to him, or maybe his abuse that's going on at home. We have no idea when we see a child sitting in school and they're smiling and we're thinking, oh, I wish I was them, what a lovely family, what horror she has to deal with when she goes home behind those doors, or him. We have no idea whatsoever when we see a beautiful dog out in the park with his owners and maybe he gets kicked around for not getting the ball on time. We have no idea what anyone's story is, because it is not our story to tell. Our story, your story, is you. Where you've been, where you've come from, and what you've done, where you are now, and results of that. No matter where you are right now, from what you hear at this very moment, you still have a story to fulfill. You still have a story to be told. You still have something to keep moving onward with. Enhance it, make it, change it, be everything that you want to be in this moment from here on out. It doesn't matter where you've been or where you're going to. It just matters that you have something that's waiting for you. Okay? It's not always about the destination. It's always going to be the journey that you remember. It doesn't matter how much you think of it. Well, yeah, I could say the same thing. Publishers Clearinghouse should be knocking on my door, which they will, hashtag. For me, that's my own little hashtag. But I'm just saying, like, in a way, it's kind of cool for that. But once it happens, what will happen from that point? So it's always the object of fantasies and different things we want and dreams. If we didn't have anything to hope for or want, and we had everything given to us, now what kind of fun or excitement would that be? To have every single thing that you want just handed to you in the drop of a dime. Some people might say, oh, that's amazing, that's awesome. What really would it be? If you have no story to tell on how you got to where you are, what do you have to reflect upon? What do you have to give over to the next person? I mean, that's how in my opinion, that's how the movie, I forgot what it's called, but people just run out in the middle of the night once a year and start doing crazy stuff. Everybody would just think of random stuff to do because they're just so rich and they have nothing else to do. And I don't just mean rich by material means. I mean fulfillment in the spirit, emotionally, whatever it is, every kind of richness you can think of. If you don't have your story, then whose story do you have? Because the moment you have someone else's story, you live in someone else's dream, or you're working for their dream, you're doing whatever it takes for someone else, you're always going to feel neglected and taken advantage of in some way, and you're going to feel cheated. So what is your story? What story can you tell of your story, of how you got here? How did I get here now? For example, I'm sitting here, I'm a baker, I don't know. Okay, well, if you're just that overnight, then you don't have a story to tell because you just woke up to it. So what story is yours? That's the whole thing. And don't be afraid to say your story. Give it all. If someone wants to know, I mean, you can be discreet on certain things that happen to you, sensitive things. Don't get me wrong. Use your own discrepancies and your own common sense that comes along with it. And if you need some common sense, email us and we'll give you a piece of the pie of what we know. Okay. But take it in your own account and use it how it works in your life. This is all about self-empowerment, self-understanding, spiritual enlightenment, whatever we can get from sharing the energy we have off of each other. But don't ever be afraid to look and reflect on how you got here. It doesn't matter if you were sitting here working 50 hours a week and you couldn't even afford something, and now you're to a good job or finish your school, or now you built your own online business, or now you're selling different goods and merchandise out of a store. It doesn't matter where you are and how you should be ashamed of that. It's your story to tell, and it's something that was given out there. And everything that you've done, accounted for, from where you are now, you have touched someone's life in negative and positive ways, no matter how you look at it. Even if you never intentionally meant to, or you did. It's some way someone's affected by you somehow. It's already out there. It's a ripple effect. The ripple effect of how we talked about in many segments. That drop that you put out there is going to affect anyone in the ripple pattern of life. Anyone. Rather it be someone walking down the street and throws a banana peel. Someone passes that banana peel and slips on it. And in return, they break their leg. They can't go to work. They can't pay their bills. And therefore, their spouse leaves them. And then after that, they go insane. They start doing some crazy stuff and make someone else crazy. Boom, 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 boom. Ripple effect. Right? It does not matter. But you can't change what happened yesterday. You can't change what happened an hour ago, last year, 15 years ago. You can make amends with it. You can ask for forgiveness, but you can't change that story. You can only develop it better and remember to look back at the carelessness or mistakes that have been given, or the times you didn't act and move on it, and make it better for today. So remember, just for the fact that you're here right now and you're breathing, you're living, and you're seeing, you're tasting, you're touching, whatever senses you have available to you, you still have your story moving forward. It might not be on paper for everyone to read, but you know and you feel it. And maybe your story can touch the lives of other people. It's your journey. So take ownership of that. It doesn't just mean winning the lotto and going to New York and Las Vegas and going over to Europe. Yeah, that's a lot of people's story. Everybody wants to travel. Everybody wants that kind of life because we're kind of sedentary or put into this kind of life and the grind of not having time for the things we love the most. We can always change those too. So just remember, we have that complete free will that was given to us by the infinite love of all things to be able to do exactly what our heart desires. Now we can choose that for the negative or the positive, not just words, but the feelings behind it. So remember, whenever you're feeling like your story isn't enough, or you don't have much more to go and give, remember where you came from and where you were and where you are. Remember what you're doing more and more. Just little steps each day are what get it done. When you see buildings downtown or skyscrapers, different things going on, and you pass by, one minute you see construction, and you don't really look for the next couple months or next year, or you travel out of town 6 months later, it's a whole nother town. It doesn't mean those things happen overnight, just like a seed planted, or we have corn and vegetables. It's amazing. I mean, how we even have all this food and all these stores and all these different states and towns and cities and still keep maintaining the population and the ground and fertilization. That's how the infinite source works. But amazingly, those things don't just fully bloom overnight. It's still going to take time, whether it be steroids, antibiotics, or whatever you want to look at. It still takes time. Everything has a season and a reason. And the moment you start letting yourself look at the seasons you've been through for the reasons that you went through, you were through, and you're going through or going to, you'll realize your story is just as much needed for someone's life and in your reflection as anyone else's. So remember, tell your story, give your story, be the story that has changed in tremendous ways, and always be the change, feel the passion, and embrace the power of the spirit. I'm going to leave it at that. Boom. You know what time it is. I'm on point a little bit with the time now. I don't try to go over that 20. And if I do, it's not going to go to 22 minutes and so forth. But, just little things to kind of get us there. It's exactly, straight from the heart. So anything else you need to reach us again, that's realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, and everything else will be in the links on the website. As far as that goes, we're going to leave links on here too if you want to check out any of the books and so forth. If Anthony can get that on there like he's supposed to. If not, you can check out Blogspot for those things. And we're going to be also having our YouTube channel kick off. So maybe even some extra videos out there. We never know. No promises for the videos of different things, but it's going to be videos and just different stuff. You can interact a little bit more and just have that channel out there. So again, that's realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, and realdoubledosechannel@yandex.com for customer support and inquiries. And again, you can find us all over the web, at least for now: iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn, the Blogspot, SoundCloud, and so much more. And we're going to be just, on here with you, and you on here with us, because you keep us on point, and you keep me and us and our DDC team moving forward as the family we are. So hold strong, tell your story, be your story, and enhance every vision of your life. And remember, you have a very, very open, endless possibilities to anything that you can ever reach in your life, because you can do it, and you're amazing. So without further delays in what we have, we'll be back with you soon.